Hi everyone, I'm Jordan Rudek.
And I'm John Rairdin. The most recent entry in the Mario Golf franchise, Mario Golf Super Rush for Nintendo Switch, has had a bit of a mixed reception since launch.
While there are certainly cases to be made for or against the package as a whole, we've been particularly interested in one new mode, the Golf Adventure. So join us as we explore this mode's place in the series and find out if it measures up to the golden age of single-player in Mario sports games.
Mario Golf on Game Boy Color wasn't the first time the Mushroom Kingdom would be seen playing 18 holes, but it was the first in the series to feature an RPG-infused story mode.
In between trudging through the rough and chipping out of the sand, players could take one of 4 initial characters from amateur to pro, eventually facing off against the renowned plumber-turned-golfer himself, Mario. A condensed overworld offered a handful of full courses, in addition to smaller minigames, and players could earn experience points to improve the stats of their choosing.
Clubhouses on the map were filled with NPCs to approach for advice or a bit of amusing dialogue, and fans of the series were so smitten by this version and Mario Golf Advance Tour on Game Boy Advance that they've clamored for the inclusion of such RPG trappings in every other Mario Golf and Tennis since. In fact, the fascination with these two golf RPG hybrids was a major catalyst for indie darling Golf Story's success.
Unfortunately, it's really only been these 2 titles to incorporate more in-depth RPG mechanics. Mario Golf World Tour on 3DS exchanged a meaningful story mode for a bolstered character roster and a greater incorporation of Mushroom Kingdom power-ups. While well received, its focus on characters and courses, including those made available via paid DLC, left no room for a larger world map with light exploration. Instead, Castle Club, where players could play through courses and interact with residents of the Mushroom Kingdom, seemed a scant offering compared to what had been in the previous 2 handheld games.
Will we ever again see the light but satisfying RPG modes of Mario Golf and Advance Tour?
Will Super Rush be the answer to our experience point loving prayers?
As it turns out, Mario Golf Super Rush is the closest we've come to a true follow-up RPG mode, and it's a noticeable improvement compared to the overly simple and linear story mode of Mario Tennis Aces, also developed by Camelot.
From the moment you start up the adventure mode, it is clear that while this may not be a step-for-step direct sequel to those first 2 Mario Golf RPGs, there is an effort being made to capture that magic. While other modes in Mario Golf Super Rush have been widely reported as lacking, we thought it was worth taking out our sandwich to dig into the most expansive single-player experience the franchise has offered in nearly 2 decades.
You join a clubhouse as a rookie, playing as your human me rather than a Mario series staple, and are introduced to your fellow newbies, Chargin' Chuck, Toadette, and Boo. The one immediate difference between this and the old Game Boy Mario sports RPGs that Paper Mario fans are already very familiar with is a focus on standardized Mario icons as side characters rather than unique named variants or even human characters as was seen in early Mario Golf titles.
But outside of that, the characters are charming, and after being introduced to them, you're free to explore the grounds. While the presentation is of course significantly more modern, there is a familiarity here. Across this idyllic setting you can see the clubhouse, among other buildings, and inside it's laid out very similarly to the original clubhouses of the Game Boy Color and Advance games.
The locker rooms are right where they should be. Members chat in a cafe and the manager's office is just upstairs. Anyone who played the classic Mario sports RPGs is likely to immediately be hit by a wave of nostalgia.
It isn't dead on what you remember, but it feels like a very intentional follow-up. Yes, the human characters who all worship Mario as a golf god are absent, but the charm of the writing is still very much here. Birdo supervises your house, hoping to take care of the rookie golfers living there, and insists you call her Mama. Chargin' Chuck, who is of course a football player, continues his misunderstanding of what sport he actually plays, which feels appropriate given that we were originally introduced to him throwing baseballs.
The dialogue is constantly witty, and the world grows ever more fleshed out as you play. While you start at endless rolling green hills, you'll move on to a multitude of other biomes that carry with them a bit more of the Mushroom Kingdom identity.
Outside the standard tournaments, which each have their own unique rules for play, are a variety of side areas and challenges. Before completing tournaments and other events that advance the story, a selection of Mushroom Kingdom NPCs will offer mini-games that allow you to practice different basic shots and eventually more advanced techniques, like adding backspin or taking advantage of tailwinds. You'll also earn coins and experience points through successfully overcoming these challenges. The leveling up that comes from gaining experience enables players to bolster specific stats, like power and control, which are the golf skills, but also stamina and running speed, which help with the speed golf side of Super Rush.
Even though it may be disappointing that most of the items you can purchase with coins don't simply improve the length of your drive or make your ball fly straighter, the different clubs you can purchase keep up with the theme of customization in the game. They might add extra draw or fade, allowing players to better curve their shots, or they might make shots more resistant to wind at the cost of being harder to control. Even club selection, as in which clubs to bring with you, is a consideration here, as a lighter golf bag allows you to run faster and thus complete holes and courses more quickly.
There's no shortage of player choice in Super Rush's golf adventure, and that might be its greatest strength. It's all highly customizable to however you want to play the game, and by definition is a Mario-themed sport RPG, and an honest return to form for the Mario sports games in terms of a single-player experience.
The devaluation of the Mario spin-offs as viable solo experiences is something we've noted before. Back in 2017, Neil Ronahan wrote a piece called Mario Kart's Single-Player Dilemma, in which he discussed how since the mode peaked on the Nintendo DS, it has been slowly erased as time has worn on.
This culminated in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where all characters are unlocked when the game begins, and there's no real reason to play the game solo. While Mario Kart Tour wasn't released at the time of posting that piece, it is the generally held opinion at Nintendo World Report that love or hate the mobile title, it does a better job of presenting a single-player experience than Mario Kart has in a while. This makes sense. It's a game you're likely to be playing alone to kill time on a work break or your commute.
The Switch, on the other hand, represents the first time since Nintendo started their portable business that their home console and handheld lines are one and the same. I have to wonder if this has them reevaluating the value of single-player experiences in these games, given the wider variety of settings in which they may be played. Looking back on the Game Boy Advance era seems to be something Nintendo is quite interested in doing in general at the moment.
Now, does all this excuse the removal of key multiplayer features from the previous Mario Golf game on 3DS? No, of course not. But it does speak to an awareness that perhaps that isn't what everyone wants out of a Mario Golf game. Should it be possible to have both? Sure. Perhaps continuing updates will even make that a reality. But for now, this overcorrection into single player is at least a sign that perhaps there is hope that role-playing golf and tennis might be heading in the right direction.
Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to Nintendo World Report TV. You can check out our Discord using the link in the description, and head to NintendoWorldReport.com for a whole lot more. If you want to chat with me or Jordan about our thoughts on Mario Golf Super Rush's single player, hit us up on Twitter using the Twitter handles on your screen. Once again, thank you very much for watching, and we will see you next time. This video was made possible by our generous supporters on Patreon. Did you know that Nintendo World Report is funded directly by fans like you? When you support Nintendo World Report on Patreon, you get immediate access to multiple exclusive podcasts every month, exclusive Discord channels, an early look at select content, and more, all for as little as $1 a month. Check out patreon.com/NWR for all the details.